almost ready to start.
Oh my gosh. You're hilarious.
It's exciting, exciting.
That microphone is really good. She's whispering in
All right.
there.
I know.
Anybody nervous now?
I am.
A little bit.
People that aren't in it are nervous.
It's about time.
Only 2 years.
Woohoo!
Me.
Oh.
Sorry. At 3 o'clock. You ready, Tom?
I'm ready. As soon as you tell me we're ready to roll.
We're good. Go.
All right. Well, welcome. This is our 4th annual scholarship award ceremony, and I am so excited to be here. You know, this is one of my favorite events that we do here at Riverland, to be quite honest with you, when we recognize the talents and the specialness of several staff members who are trying to do themselves better by going to college. And so this year is no slouches this year. We've got some great folks that we're going to be able to give awards to today, and so I'm really excited about this. Now, I will tell you, it's a little weird being up here because, you know, all we have in the audience with us are the 10 recipients, actually 9 of the 10 recipients. One of the folks couldn't be here, and just a couple other people in here. So it's not the big crowd that we're used to, but we hope you all are watching. Now, we're broadcasting this 2 different ways. We're actually broadcasting this to our residents who are here at River Landing through our in-house TV channel, which is our 1390 channel. And for those that don't have that capability, we and a lot of the families are watching this way. We are broadcasting through Facebook Live. So in either case, we say welcome and hi, and we're glad you're here. Let's see, where else? I want to make some special welcomes to a couple special groups. Besides the staff members that are here, really want to welcome their families that are watching. And I really also want to welcome 2 different families that are a special part of us and have been a special part of us and really have helped to make this happen. Charles and Alice Fisher's family. Charles and Alice Fisher were our first residents here at River Landing, the first ones to actually get the keys to move into our community almost 18 years ago, believe it or not. So, and we miss them very much. But we know their families are watching, so we say a big hello to you all. And we also want to say a big welcome to Mary Walter Schaefer's family. I think Marissa's going to talk about this a little bit. Mary Walter Schaefer was our director of marketing for several years here, and unfortunately she passed away unexpectedly. And I'll let Marissa tell you the rest of the story. I don't want to ruin her surprise here, but you know, we know that I'm hoping that Don and Kate are actually getting a chance to watch, and maybe even Mary's sister Ann. So we welcome you all too. We're hoping that you're watching. So this year was a little unusual, I think, and because of all the COVID-19 stuff, I think we were trying to figure out how we were going to do the ceremony. We were trying to figure out, you know, how things were going to work with this. But, you know, we've got a great scholarship committee that's here that worked through this. We had a surprising number of candidates that applied for scholarships this year, and so we're really excited that we've got 10 winners on our staff. And you know, this is just really a great process that we go through. You know, this is the 4th year we've done it, and every year we have grown in not only the number of applicants, but we've grown in the amount of money that we've been able to give away. And again, I don't want to steal anybody else's thunder, so I won't say anything about that. I'll let somebody else talk about that. But it's a great process, and so my job here is just to welcome you. And I thought it might be fun. I was looking online today, trying to figure out, you know, some sort of inspirational or motivational quote. And so, you know what? The problem was I couldn't find just one. So I have a montage of quotes that I'm going to try and go through. So bear with me, because I think these are awesome, okay? So let's see if you like some of these. The first one, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. Aristotle said that. Winning isn't everything, but wanting to win is. That was Vince Lombardi. For you football fans, you know who Vince Lombardi is. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world. Harriet Tubman. This is one of my favorite ones. If you don't know where you're going, you'll end up someplace. That's Yogi Berra. So, our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we do fall. That's Confucius said that. Education is our passport to the future, for tomorrow brings to the people who prepare it today. That was Malcolm X. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. That's a true statement, isn't it? That's Albert Einstein said that. In school, you're taught a lesson and then given a test. In life, you're given a test that teaches you a lesson. That was, believe it or not, Tom Bodett. If you don't know who Tom Bodett is, he'll leave a light on for you at Motel 6. That's who that is. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. That was Martin Luther King Jr. I only have a few more, I promise. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. That was Les Brown. I've got a theory that if you give 100% all the time, somehow things will work out in the end. That's Larry Bird, again, and for your NBA fans. This is a new year, a new beginning, and things will change. That's from Taylor Swift. So she probably said to shake it off after that, would be my guess. Success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. Winston Churchill. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. That was Confucius again. And the last one, if you're trying to achieve, there will be roadblocks. I've had them. Everybody has had them. But obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it. Michael Jordan. So with that, I am going to turn it over to Gay Brown. And Gay is going to come up and do our invocation for us.
Let us pray. Gracious God, we come before you with praise and thanksgiving for all the scholars that are here. We thank you, O Lord, for their wisdom, but we thank you for their search for more knowledge, for wanting to forge on, to learn from those who came before them, for those who wish to care for others, as each one of these scholars said to us. O Lord, you have instilled in each one of them the need to succeed, the need to become more and more of what you have ordained for their lives. We thank you, O Lord, that you have given each one such talents and such industry that they are here today, and we can be a part of helping them to move forward as they seek to serve others. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, thank you so much for that beautiful prayer and blessing over our scholars today. That was very special. As Tom mentioned a moment ago, my name is Marisa Ray, and I'm going to share a little bit with you about the history of our scholarship program here at River Landing and how it began. When we come together as a community annually for this special time of celebration, it is meaningful to reflect on how this program started. And one thing I've noticed about River Landing, when there's something significant that occurs in our community, our residents always seem to want to go into action, and you all know what I'm talking about. They respond in very thoughtful and positive ways, and it's no surprise when that happens here at River Landing. The most recent example of this actually has been with this COVID-19 situation when the residents came to us and knowing that some of our employees and their families would be negatively impacted because of the pandemic, they came to us and said, would it be possible to set up employee assistance funds? Because we know know that our families and our employees are going to have some challenges, and so it's no surprise when our residents want to spring into action when there's something happening. And we're grateful to all of those who have made contributions to those efforts, to the Employee Assistance Funds. This inclination, though, that I'm talking about to respond with positive action, this was also the case 4 years ago. And as Tom mentioned, when we unexpectedly lost our former Director of Marketing and Sales, Mary Walter Schaefer. Mary was absolutely a beloved member of this community, and she served River Landing for 4 years before she passed away in March of 2016. And as our community was left to both cherish Mary's memory, but also sort of come to terms with the tragedy that had happened, the residents decided to partner with our Presbyterian Homes Foundation and to create a scholarship that would provide awards for employees seeking to attain their educational goals. And so in 2016, with initial donations being made in memory of Mary Walter Schaefer, the River Landing at Sandy Ridge Employee Scholarship Program was established. In years past, as Tom mentioned, Mary's family has joined us here in the multipurpose room for this ceremony, and so we hope that they're tuning in today and certainly miss the opportunity to see them. We also have a second permanent fund in addition to the River Landing at Sandy Ridge Employee Scholarship Fund. We have a second permanent endowment that makes our Employee Scholarship Program possible. The Charles and Alice Fisher Educational Endowment for the employees of River Landing. And many of you knew Charles and Alice. I think about when Tom and I met with Charles and Alice in 2018, they were very clear that they wanted to set this fund up out of appreciation. And just to share a little bit of background with you about Charles, Charles was raised by his grandmother, and he was very young when this country went through the Great Depression. When talking about education, in Charles's words, he said, "The hope of any further education was non-existent. There was just no money." So one of his teachers took him aside and told him about a trade school that had been established by a merchant and a philanthropist in Philadelphia, and Charles decided to go ahead and apply to the trade school, and he was accepted. And so in sharing the story with us, he said to us that this was a turning point for him, and with a solid base on which to build. I met God and accepted his Son as Lord and Savior, and I received an academic education that encouraged the Navy to also then send me to Princeton University and then on to MIT. So this was Charles' beginning of his journey. Along the way, he did meet Alice, who was 16 at the time, and it's unbelievable. They were married for 72 years and lived here at River Landing, as Tom says, as some of our very first residents. So we also thank their family for their vision, and Matt and Diane, and Charlie and Lynette, and Matt and Diane. Make sure I get the family straight. We hope that you're tuning in with us today, and we're also missing you today, but celebrating the opportunity to remember Alice and Charles and what they have done here for River Landing as well. As Tom and I worked with the Fishers, they said one other thing. They said, "May we all pray that this small endowment will likewise grow and become a source of assistance to our employees in reaching their educational goals." And both the River Landing and Sandy Ridge Employee Scholarship Fund, as well as the Charles and Alice Fisher Educational Endowment, have done just that. They have grown. Over the years, we've received memorial gifts and honor gifts to these funds. We received gifts from residents, gifts from current and former members of the Board of Trustees, current staff, friends and family members of residents, residents of the future, and gifts from our vendors and business partners as well. These permanent endowments are invested and continue to grow, and we sincerely thank all of you who may be tuning in online through the in-house television or on Facebook Live. We sincerely thank you for your generous contributions to these efforts. Your generosity is what makes this program possible, and you have enabled these funds to become a very important resource for our employees, so we thank you for that. One more word of thanks should go to our committee, our selection committee. This group of folks have served throughout the process in making some difficult decisions at times, some challenging decisions, but they've put a lot of time and effort into this and also personally support these funds. So I also want to thank you, our wonderful committee.
Thank you, Marissa and Tom. I'm Wiz Horner, and I have the privilege of being the chair of the Scholarship Committee. And before I introduce everyone who's on the committee, let me say a couple of other things. These funds have really grown very dramatically in the last 4 years, and the Fisher one in the last couple of years. And we have, and I'm going to go ahead and say this anyway, Marissa, whether you like for me to or not. Between the two funds, we have $350,000 that we are able to draw from, a percentage of that every year to award scholarships. And to that extent, this year we have $13,000 that we can award to be shared by the 10 folks who will be getting awards. That $13,000 also includes $1,000 that comes from your resident council. So our thanks to Dan Phillips for that. And also $1,000 that comes from management. So thank you, Tom, for that. And as residents, and I'm speaking to the residents right now, you know, if you have grandchildren attending colleges, I don't think any of us are young enough to have actually children in college right now. But if you've got grandchildren in college right now, you know how expensive it is. Even the state schools can be $30,000 a year, and if you're talking about private colleges and universities, very easily they can be over $50,000. And it's not unusual to hear of people, young folks graduating from school who've got like $250,000 of debt as far as their loans are concerned. It happens all the time. So, residents, what can you do? Marissa touched on this a little bit. If you want to help our employees, you're going to be going to college, community colleges, technical schools. Community colleges, incidentally, are a great bargain these days when you have grandchildren looking at college. That's my personal opinion. So what can you do? It's very simple. All you have to do is contact Marissa. As you can tell, she's a very nice lady. She won't do you any harm. But she will be glad to take a very generous, I like that word, generous, she used that also, a generous check from you that she can deposit into the scholarship funds. You will certainly be glad that you did that. Not only are they tax deductible, but it will go a long way towards helping our employees, and our employees will appreciate it very much too. As I said, we have 10 employees who will be benefiting from our scholarship program this year, and you're going to meet them in just a few minutes. To be eligible for a scholarship, they must complete an application process, approval from their supervisors, and individual interviews by the scholarship committee. The members of the committee are Maxine Foster, John Hoyt, who unfortunately is under the weather today and could not be here, and our newest member, Gabe Brown, who replaced Jan Kuntz. Jan was on the original committee 4 years ago, and she has stepped down after 3 years on the committee. And we're fortunate to have in the last 2 years as a representative from the resident council, Jim Kalaki, who has been with us for the last couple of years and has been a great addition to our group. Jim's term on the council will be ending this year, and we will have another member of the new council coming on next year. And incidentally, John Hoyt will be rotating off of the committee this coming year, so we'll have a couple of opportunities for new people to come on to the committee. So residents, if it's something you think you're interested in, be on the lookout for an announcement in the spring of next year. Now, those of you who have seen or attended our past 3 award ceremonies know that in addition to awarding some financial assistance, we also like to try to pass along some wisdom from our years of life and experience. I know you don't particularly think of me as being very wise, but I have plagiarized some good stuff, and I want to pass that along, and hopefully that it will help you. So, awardees, the 9 of you that are here, there will be a test later. A couple of them. There will be a test later, so you might want to think about what I've got to say. A friend of mine sent me something a few weeks ago that had some excellent life lessons in it. It said, life is like a journey on a train. I hope all of you have had the opportunity to travel on a train. It's a great way to travel. So imagine your life for a few minutes as a train trip. The journey's got many stations. There's many changes of routing as you go. Sometimes there are accidents. At birth, we board the train and we meet our parents. And we believe when we are young that they're going to be with us forever at our sides. However, at some stations, our parents will step down from the train, leaving us on the journey alone. As time goes by, other people will board your train, and they will be significant. Could be your brothers and sisters, our friends, perhaps if we're lucky enough in the future, our children, and maybe even the love of our life, if we're really lucky. Many will step down and leave a permanent vacuum from the train. And others will go so unnoticed that we don't even realize that they have vacated their seats, which is pretty sad when you think about it. Your train ride will be filled with joy, sorrow, hopefully some fantasy, expectations, hellos, goodbyes, and farewells. Now, your success consists of having a good relationship with all the passengers, requiring that you give the best of yourself every day. The great mystery to all of us is that we do not know at which station we ourselves will step down. When does our train ride end? Therefore, with that in mind, you must live in the best way that you can with love and forgiveness and offer the best that you can every day. Now, it's really important to do this because when the time comes for us to step down and leave our seat empty, we should leave behind beautiful memories for those who will continue to travel on their train of life. And we wish all of you, our young friends here, a joyful journey this year on your train of life. And more importantly, be sure that you always give thanks for your individual journey. Remember, I said there was going to be a test later? It's not going to be today. And hopefully it's not going to be until way in the future for you. But when you step down, how will you be remembered? Okay. Awarding the 2020 employee scholarships. We have 10 of our employees who will be receiving awards this year. And the first 4 are from the Fisher Scholarship Endowment. And our first awardee is Reagan Labor. Reagan works in our bistro dining service. Reagan is a senior at UNC Charlotte and will have a degree in exercise science. She has already been accepted into UNC's master education. I am confident that I will make a positive impact on the healthcare community and help countless people through my efforts. Congratulations, Reagan. You're already doing that for us already right here. Thank you. Next is Terry Pearson. Terry works in our memory care unit at St. Andrews, and she's been with Presbyterian Homes for 13 years, working as a CNA, is now an LPN, and she's going to Guilford Tech Community College working towards her RN degree. Terry loves her patients, and they love her right back. She is a very accomplished and determined young lady. She already has a degree in criminal justice and is now working her way up the healthcare ladder. In her application, she quoted Winston Churchill, "Success is not final, and failure is not failed. It is the courage to continue that counts." And Terry demonstrates that every day for us, and also to her sweet little 5-year-old daughter, Mackenzie, and I hope Mackenzie is watching this, who's going to get to see this today. Mackenzie, we love your mom. Congratulations, Terry. Paige Shields is our next award winner. Paige works in the bistro, and if you are persistent, you might get her to say a few words. You'd have to be very persistent to only get her to say a few words. Actually, she says lots of words, but she's a delightful person. Paige is pursuing a bachelor's degree in business administration at North Carolina State University and plans to go to grad school eventually. She's on the dean's list, which she tells me is a good thing, and is a member of the Scholars Program and several other campus organizations. In her application, she said, "These difficult times have really illustrated the importance of living a balanced life. And I'm so thankful to River Landing for helping me do just that." Congratulations, Paige. Another scholarship winner who has had awards in the past is Jordan Wilson. Jordan received his bachelor's degree in interlife studies this past year from Winston-Salem State University and is now going to North Carolina A&T University, where he is accepted into the Accelerated Bachelor of Nursing degree program. Jordan has been an employee at River Landing in our healthcare unit for 4 years, and we're so proud of the work that he has done here for us. During his interview with the committee, Jordan told us how much mentoring by a professor in college helped him, and he is now giving back by doing the same thing for young men in his community. He also is a volunteer with Out of the Garden, which is a food bank organization. Jordan, congratulations and thanks for all you're doing for us. We appreciate it. The next group of 6 scholarship award winners are recognized under the River Landing Scholarship Program. And our first winner is Jenna Burns. Coincidentally, Jenna is another NC State student who works in dining service. And like Paige, Jenna has been known to say a few words also. In fact, we had to be sure that during the applicant interviews that Jenna and Paige were not scheduled back to back. After all, those of us on the committee are rather old. We need our nap time, so we wouldn't be able to handle both of you on the same day. Jenna has been working at River Landing for over 2 years while attending state, majoring in business administration. And like many young folks in their first few years of college, Jenna was unsure what her goal was. And she knew Amy Rosing, our marketing director, through Amy's son, Jacob. And then Jenna talked to Amy about a career in marketing. So now she has set her mind to follow that path under her business major. One of Jenna's many volunteer activities is being a bell ringer at Christmas time for the Salvation Army. You know, I can't imagine saying no to Jenna when it's time to put change in the bucket for her outside of Walmart. Can you? Jenna said in her application, "Working at River Landing has done so much for my future and for me as a person. The skills that I have obtained and lessons I've learned at River Landing will be with me forever and help me be successful in my career." Thank you, Jenna. Next is Elisa Klein. Elisa is currently working as a CNA in Pebble Beach since she came to work at River Landing about 18 months ago. She's got a total of 5 years experience as a CNA, and we are glad that she's here with us. She's earned a BS in biology from UNCG. She's now in the accelerated nursing program at Winston-Salem State University, which is a 14-month program. And Elisa said in her application, I have thoroughly enjoyed forming relationships with each resident, and the nursing skills I have gained while working have aided me significantly in my current nursing program. Elisa has a wonderful personality and brings a ray of sunshine wherever she goes, and we are very fortunate to have her as part of our family. Thanks, Elisa. India Glass is our next scholarship award winner, and she has been working in healthcare as a homemaker since she came to work here in April 2018. Her education plan is to get a degree in interior design and architecture, starting with coursework at Guilford Community College with an associate's degree that she will earn. During her interview, she spoke lovingly about her grandfather, who was her mentor and set the example of how she wants to lead her life. Undoubtedly, he has given her the inspiration to work and to support the homeless and provide housing for them. This is a passion that she has. What a noble goal that is. In her application, she summed it up beautifully. Being able to have somewhere to go to when you want peace and quiet is the best feeling. Thank you very much, Angie. Katie Jackson from the Dining Service Department is our next scholarship winner. And you probably have seen Katie's smiling face in the bistro. She is also pretty good with the temperature gun down there. Katie's very first job was here at River Landing about 2 years ago, and she will be going to Guilford Tech and will be pursuing legal studies with the goal of becoming a paralegal first. But that's just her first step. Her goal is to become a lawyer, and as she says, keep the lives of others safe. While in high school, Katie was in a baccalaureate program where she took many college-level courses that has prepared her for her college degree work. Here is a quote from Katie's scholarship application. I am grateful for being given the opportunity to be welcomed into the lives of everyone within River Landing. I have learned so much during my time here, like the value of teamwork, hard work, and independence. This community has already done so much to change my life for the better, with amazing residents and staff that have grown to be very close to my heart. Congratulations, Katie. Our next scholarship awardee is Ikra Jave. Ikra already has a degree in psychology from UNC Chapel Hill and is a practicing CNA in Pebble Beach, where she's worked for over a year. But this young lady is not finished. Her next step is to attend Guilford Community College in the fall to become an RN. And there's no doubt that she's going to succeed. She completed her high school requirements in 3 years and then went to Guilford Community College for a year, maintaining a 4.0. All of that before she went to UNC for her psychology degree. In her application, she wrote, "Nurses are often the advocates for the patient. I am excited to start this journey towards a nursing career and hope to become a nurse practitioner like our wonderful Miss Eileen." And for those of you who don't know Miss Eileen, that's Eileen Quilty, who is a nurse practitioner in Pebble Beach, who obviously has had a big influence on you, Ikra. Thank you very much, and congratulations. scholarship winner is Emily Moore, who could not be here with us today, but I want to tell you a little bit about this young lady. Emily graduated last year with honors from UNC Chapel Hill with a degree in biology and minors in neuroscience and Hispanic studies. She's been working with us for 2 years in St. Andrews. She has decided to become a physician and is enrolled at UNC Greensboro to complete her remaining prerequisites. This summer, she has been assisting in a research laboratory that studies links between viruses and the development of Alzheimer's. A very busy and accomplished young lady. In her application, she said, "My time at River Landing has only strengthened my dedication to attend medical school and has taught me so much about the standard of care that I want every future patient of mine to experience." So congratulations to Emily. This concludes the presentation of the scholarship awards for this year, and I wish we could have had these families of these folks and their friends and co-workers here to celebrate and to let them know really how proud we are of them. They are an excellent representation of all of the employees that we have here at River Landing. And as I've said many times in the past, this does not happen by accident. It's the leadership from Tom, Lisa, and the department chiefs, and that's very evident in the employees that we have here at River Landing. So our residents thank all of you for what you do to make this such a wonderful place to live. We are truly blessed to be here.